Let's walk through the new workflow for sending small parcel shipments to FBA. This new workflow goes effective 12/20, so we've tried to get out ahead of this and give you a preview of what it's going to be like. The new prep and ship workflow has just batches, and then the steps are sequential or discrete, more like send to Amazon. Shipment information is going to be shown on either the placement option screen or the transportation option screen, depending on which workflow you choose. So the first thing I want to point out is that if you haven't sent inventory to Amazon FBA through Sent to Amazon, you may need to set this prep category. So when you scan an item into a batch and you get this yellow box that says a prep category is needed, click the Set Prep Category button. Most of the time it's none, meaning it's not small, sharp, perforated, liquid, fragile, etc. But you can review those, and it's pretty easy to either set one or both prep categories at a time by clicking the box there. So once you set the prep category, the items are ready to be submitted for a shipping plan. I'm going to go to this existing batch, which we call the 2A pack first flow. This is the second big difference between the way things work in ScanPower now and the new workflow. If you're going to send small parcel shipments, you will need to provide packing information before you get placement options, etc. So I'm going to go through and demonstrate that. Anything that requires an expiration date, we're going to point out to you, and you're not going to be able to pass this first step without entering expiration dates. So you can do that. As always, when you list the item, you can edit the item once it's in the batch, and you can provide those in like a spreadsheet import. We're going to provide box contents up front because we want to do SPD shipments. The existing flow is to provide box contents after the shipments are generated. So we click Create Shipment Plan, and what Amazon will do is tell us how these items can be packed. So when you get a shipping plan back, we pass that information to the API, and Amazon will say these items can be packed together. And that typically falls along oversize things that are going to go to different fulfillment centers based on the product type. So hazardous, oversize, sometimes shoes are separated out, aerosols, things like that. So all of these are in a single pack group, and we're now ready to pack. So one of the things we've added in this new workflow is the ability to have box templates. So you can say, food boxes, which are 10 by 12 by 8. I guess that would be 12 by 10 by 8. And every box weighs 5 pounds. The weight is optional here, but the nice thing is when you save a template, we'll pre-fill the weight in if you've given it to us. So the packing flow is actually a combination of box and scan to pack or form based. So if we want to pack these, 3 in this box, 5 in this box, 1 in this box, we can enter those individually into the input. We can also select a box that we want to pack into and run the scanner. So I can just scan these into the boxes like so. And we can also use a copy box to say we're gonna have the same mixture of SKUs and quantities, and we'll pack those, automatically copy the boxes. So I think what I'm going to do here is bump these up so we have 5 identical boxes, and then we're going to confirm the box weights. And then the next step in this new workflow is to then choose your placement option. Before, placement options were driven off of Amazon FBA inbound settings. Now they're driven off of the option that you choose, and Amazon is going to return all of the placement options. So you don't have to choose a region or choose your placement option in settings. All of that comes through the API, and you can see based on the placement fee or Amazon optimized or the destinations. So it gives you a chance to do some comparisons. So if we look here, we get 6 different placement options. So the only Amazon optimized placement option, because we have 5 cartons with the same mixture and quantity of SKUs in them, we qualify for Amazon optimized, which is $0. And we can see, where these shipments are headed. One New York, one New Jersey, one Midwest, one West Coast, and then one Southeast. So you can compare these. If you put in a ship ready date, then you can actually generate the transportation options for the placement options, so you can compare placement fees and freight fees together. We're working on ways to make this more streamlined so that we pull all of that information in for you up front, but you have to tell it a ship ready date in order to get the freight fees. So we'll let these load. Some of the calls in the new API take a little bit of time, and we can bounce through the placement options here and kind of compare the shipment destinations. So let's go back to the first one. It's now estimated the inbound for partnered SPD at $15.75 for that, and 10. So if we select these, it'll show you the total placement fee and estimated shipping cost. And you can go through and do this for all of these. So we'll just say these are going to ship tomorrow. Choose SPD for all of them. You can also indicate that one of the shipments is going to be LTL and the rest are SPD. So in this pack first flow, you get all shipping modes. So let's generate the transportation options for Amazon optimized or $0. So as we saw in step 2, there was just a single pack group. If we had different mixture of product types, we might have gotten 1, 2, 3 pack groups. And so it'll be important, I think, to have, good labeling on your pack group. So that means sorting inventory somewhat before you choose, your shipment placement or shipment splits. So we're looking at ways that we can help you track this. Maybe it's generating like a license plate number or interim label before the box label is available so that you can know what items are able to be packed in which pack groups. But basically, a pack groups are things that can ship together. So let's go back down to the shipping. Since we have 5 shipments, it's taking a little bit longer to get the estimated transportation fee. Once you get those transportation fees and you agree to them, you click the confirm shipping button, and then that locks in both the packing and the shipment splits. And then from there, you're printing box labels, shipping labels, and entering your tracking numbers, or in the case of Amazon Partnered, they enter the tracking number for you. So here we can generate and print box and shipping labels. And then when we go to the next step, we'll just confirm the tracking information. So when we click on these, you can see the tracking IDs have been generated and these shipments are ready to go. So the sequence of steps in the pack first flow is have a batch, figure out what you're going to send, print your labels, prep the items, and then step 2 is pack the items. You can scan to pack. You can figure out what fits in a box and then copy boxes multiple times. You can make use of box templates. You can also print item labels at this step. So you have to enter your weights and dimensions in the packing step. And then step 3, you're going to see all the placement options, what the inbound placement fees are, if those apply, and then you can generate partnered or non-partnered shipping estimates. What we've seen is Amazon's giving us a lot more options for both partnered and at least partnered LTL and non-partnered freight carriers. They'll let you actually choose, SDs, for example, whereas before you just chose other. And then step 4, you print your box labels and really to enter any tracking. But if you choose non-partnered, say it's an oversize or a hazmat shipment, you'll enter tracking details in the final step. So we call that the pack first flow.